Bruh, this might be the most retarded drama I've ever had to cover on my channel. Essentially, MrBeast's best friend, Chris, made the cardinal sin of coming out a while ago and becoming a little bit fruity. Now, what do I mean by cardinal sin? Well, if you're someone like me who goes on TikTok or Twitter a lot, then you're most likely retarded. But if you're someone like me who goes on TikTok or Twitter a lot, then you've most likely noticed the countless of posts and a countless of drama videos surrounding the MrBeast and Chris situation. For example, this K-pop tard on Twitter, Oli London, posted a pretty ironic negative tweet about the Chris Tyson situation. YouTuber Chris Tyson went from masculine family man with a 2-year-old son to transgender and pumped full of ovaries, hormones, all in the space of a few months. This poor wife and kid. So heartbreaking for them. Now I find it really funny that this motherfucker is criticizing Chris for changing his own body when this is the same motherfucker who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on plastic surgery to look like a K-pop star. Bruh, this motherfucker spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to look like Jimmy, when at the end of the day, he ended up looking like a fucked up Elden Ring randomized character. So he's criticizing someone for changing his own body when he changed his own body. It gets even worse. In 2022, he even identified himself as trans. Like, you don't need to be an Andrew Tard like Coco or an LGBTQ Disney Plus supporter to agree that this motherfucker, Oli London, is a clown and should not be taken seriously at all. And then you have random tweets saying stupid shit like, "Get rid of Chris or I will unsubscribe." Bruh, shut the fuck up. You even have people going as far as to create fake Photoshop DMs or going as far as to LARP on 4chan and pretend to be one of MrBeast's employees and write a big-ass essay trying to cancel MrBeast by saying that he's secretly against Chris transitioning, when in reality that big-ass wall of text was written by a 45-year-old obese Genshin Impact player nutting on anime pillows. And you'll notice that it's a very common theme for people to speak on the behalf of MrBeast. I mean, if you go on TikTok, for example, there were TikTok videos that went viral that took clips out of context of MrBeast during a 1-hour-long live stream where he stopped smiling for a second. And those TikToks are like pushing an agenda where it's like, you see, he stopped smiling for a second, that means he doesn't like Chris anymore. For all of you Reddit detectives, psychologists, there's a million reasons that could explain as to why MrBeast would stop smiling for a split second during the live stream. If you go look at the live stream where Chris got a lot of hate, you look at the like-dislike ratio and the live chat, it's full of hate. Like, imagine seeing your best friend getting a fuck ton of hate online, like, of course you're gonna stop smiling and you're just gonna feel awkward. You even have Sunny V2 going full schizo and making a whole video dedicated to Chris's marriage and how he's a nightmare for MrBeast.
Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails.
And by the way, what's wrong with Sunny V2 always picking the most cursed comments? It's like me picking this tweet,
"Bro, what the fuck happened?"
and then picking this tweet reply,
"MrBeast done showed him the beast."
What the fuck? Sunny V2's schizo take on his video is essentially him treating Chris like an asset, and only an asset to MrBeast's channel, not as a human being, and saying weird shit like, if Chris keeps transitioning, he might be hurting MrBeast's channel.
If Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first place? This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos.
If you think about it, Sunny V2's stupid argument is extremely flawed. I mean, let's pretend for a second that human beings are not human beings and they're just assets, they're just robots, like NPCs, right? Let's pretend that people, you know, as they grow older, they don't change, like they shouldn't change. So it's like saying, it's basically saying like, back in 2011 when PewDiePie was blowing up by playing horror games like Amnesia, right? Let's pretend like he was slowly transitioning, like as time went on, to a reaction-based format, which is probably his golden era on YouTube, right?
What a fucking
That's essentially saying, if PewDiePie doesn't keep playing Amnesia, if he doesn't keep playing horror games, his channel's gonna die. Because I guarantee you, if he didn't change his format eventually as he grew older and got bored of playing just horror games, his channel would have died. My point is, unless you're a sociopathic NPC fuck, you can't prevent change. Like, if he keeps transitioning, he will hurt MrBeast, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, his video was so weird that even MrBeast had to finally step in and say that he's had enough of dumbasses speaking on his behalf and talking shit about his friend. Which pretty much confirms that everyone on TikTok who are like fucking micro-analyzing like clips, live streams out of context and zooming on MrBeast's face and saying, wait, He's not smiling there, he has a neutral face, that means he fucking hates Chris. Well, all of those people were finally proven wrong by MrBeast himself. Like, it just blows my mind that the background character from the MrBeast channel injecting... Yo, I forgot the fucking female hormone. Injecting fucking ovaries in his body is such a big deal. Guaranteed, the people telling Chris to go neck or sending him hate messages because he's ruining his body are the same people who wouldn't say shit to people literally turning their ears into expanded buttholes after massive shit. Now, that's what we need to be fighting against, guys. Not Chris injecting THC hormones in himself. Now, if you're a decent human being with common sense, I think it's very obvious to know where I'm personally standing on this whole MrBeast Chris situation. Here's what my absolutely controversial, red pill woke, lip tart, red chicken wing take is about the whole situation. I don't give a fuck, bruh. Like, I don't care about the drama. I don't even know why the drama became a drama in the first place. Who cares what someone's doing to their own body? Like, if it's not hurting anyone, who gives a shit? I don't care if you're straight like X2C, gay like X2C, or cock like X2C. If you're a good person, a decent human being, then that's all that matters. Like, if I'm playing World of Warcraft and I'm doing a raid, am I gonna give a fuck if someone's trans? If someone's gay? No, I'm gonna care if you're doing shit DPS in the raid and you keep dying. My attitude toward you is not gonna change if you're a male, a female, a trans male, trans female, some alien shit. Whoa! What? I said alien shit? That must mean I'm an enemy of the LGBTQ Disney Plus movement. No. Or maybe it just means that I'm an honest man who's not gonna pretend that he knows all 60 plus genders definitions and what they stand for. Guaranteed 99% of viewers watching this video right now have no idea what this alien shit means. I'm sucking these nuts, bro. Let's not lie to ourselves. Another example. I remember like a year ago or 2 years ago, I remember like scrolling on my Instagram feed, and then randomly, I saw a picture of Jing Shaw's butt cheeks on my front page. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that picture, I click on the 3 dots on the top right of my screen, and I click report. Like, I don't know, does me reporting his ass make me an enemy of the LGBTQ Disney Plus movement? Or does it simply mean that I don't want to see his butt cheeks on my front page? If you're Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, I don't care. My mentality on things has always been, if you don't force your beliefs on me, then we're good. Like, if you're an extremist Christian and you're like, dude, you have to follow my religion right now, you have to follow it right now or you're gonna go to hell. That's when someone's bugging, bro, like, when they start forcing their shit on you. Here's another controversial take of mine. Don't judge someone based on what religion they follow, based on their gender, their race, whatever, right? Judge someone by how they act. It's that simple. Don't be hating, don't tell people to neck, be a decent human being. People need to stop with the prejudices or judging people. I'm not perfect. I'm guilty of judging people too sometimes. For example, I remember during my last year of high school, there was a new student who came and he smelled like AIDS. And I'm not gonna lie, I would always do my best to avoid him because, I don't know, I was scared of getting hair lice or some shit. Now, I've seen this other argument floating around about how Chris's son is fucked, and Chris is gonna be a bad influence to kids, and we need to think about the kids. And to this, all I have to say is this. Why is it that straight, gay, trans people, like trans parents, are automatically assumed to be bad parents? So let's say the parents are straight, right? And the fucking husband is fucking a circumcised male, or, you know, like, what is it? Cis male. Like, the husband is a cis male, right? Does that mean he's gonna be automatically a good parent? If he's like Chris Breezen beating his wife? Why is it that some special people assume that if the parents are not straight, they're automatically going to be a bad parent? Like, 100%. What about the straight parents? Where the dad is a fucking abusive fuck, or alcoholic motherfucker, or he's never home to take care of his child, like he's always out, like he's always outside? What about those parents? Huh? Like, this just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, is it a controversial thing for me to say that a bad parent is not a bad parent because of their gender, because of their sex orientation? A bad parent is a bad parent because they're fucking clocking their kids on a daily basis, or they're drinking alcohol 24/7. Now, I will say this. I think we can all agree that kids are way too young to consent, and way too young to make life-changing decisions. So if you were to ask me, should children be able to inject hormones inside their body, or cut their mini glizzies off? You know, like, of course I'd say no. Of course I'm gonna say, I think children should have to wait until their, you know, their brains are fully developed in such a way that they can make their own decisions. I think we can all agree on that. But when it comes to people saying, these parents are not circumcised people, they're gonna be bad parents. What? Now, another argument I've seen around is how some people are saying, wait, why is Chris telling us to be ourselves if Chris is clearly not comfortable with who he is and he's changing his own body and he's not being himself? Here's my take on this argument. This is the equivalent of saying someone who's born without a penis. What? Why am I saying penis? This is the equivalent of someone who's born without an arm, but then later in life, that person who was born without an arm is like, wait, technology has progressed in such a way that now I can afford to get a prosthetic. I can afford to get a robotic arm to help me. Like an extremist religious motherfucker, right? Is like, no, we're getting a prosthetic arm. Like, God didn't give you an arm for a reason. Like, what? Like, are you gonna say that the guy getting a prosthetic arm means that he's not being himself anymore? No! I already know some of you stubborn motherfuckers are gonna be like, wait, this analogy is completely terrible. I mean, on one side, the guy getting a prosthetic arm is getting a benefit to his life. Okay, but think about this. What if Chris transitioning is actually a benefit to his life too? Because what if him transitioning is the reason why he hasn't necked? Because he said it himself on his Twitter page, that this procedure literally saved his life. So essentially, the guy born without a penis getting a prosthetic arm, like, if that's a benefit to his life, I would say Chris transitioning in such a way that he's not necking, he's not passing away, is also a benefit to his life. But anyway, what a non-issue, what a stupid drama that I don't even understand how it became a drama in the first place that blew up on Twitter or on the internet in general. Hopefully the next drama is more interesting than this. Money, 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 money.